I don't want to say basic, but
it's true. I would say, unfortunately, in the plant community, people have basically like stereotyped plants to either be like just basic or like you don't want it because of like the care needs. I mean, for example, like a pothos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in my experience, I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't get that. Everybody has it. Or like, it's called the devil's ivy or whatever. You don't need it or whatever the case is. To me, that is one of the most beautiful plants, regardless if it's quote unquote basic or whatever. And just the leaves and how it trails or if you grow it upright on a pole. But it definitely gets overlooked now, especially since the plant community or just even just plants in general are becoming more popular.
I would also say, things that are overlooked, for plants is the fact that they may not just be Instagram friendly. Like, you already know if you have IG, you're sitting up there getting that perfect lighting. You might even put a filter on that philodendron pink princess to
Just
make
to
it
bring
even
it
more pink. You already know that is the case. Let us know in the comments if you're guilty on that, and definitely hit the like button if you agree. But as far as like, plants that are overlooked, I think it's just because they're not trendy in a sense that they're not something that you can put on social media to get everybody's, attention. Like, I don't know. I've seen that happen before where you mention pothos plants. Yeah. But what about, a spider plant where it's super easy and it pushes out a lot of babies, and it's one of those plants that, sharing is caring, as Costa Farm says, fun to share for some of these plants that you can propagate and give to people. So I think that's another reason why plants are overlooked.
Well, it's so funny that you mentioned Instagram and social media friendly, right? Yeah. Because it almost brings us back to the topic that we talked about what got you into plants in the first place. Mm-hmm. And so, look, I have been, semi-Instagram famous in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Woo woo!
But
if y'all only knew his Instagram handle outside of I Live Plants, let's just say, anyways.
A little bit of this.
A lot of that. A lot of that.
But here's the thing. It's not about the Instagram. It's not about social media. I think it's somewhat about the joy that it brings you, right? And I gotta be honest, so I have been a fan of variegated plants. So, those are the plants that are typically not overlooked. Those are the plants that
that's front and center.
Yeah.
If it's not variegated, it doesn't exist.
Right?
Exactly.
Well, let me tell you this. So, I bought a golden pothos.
Okay.
And you gotta admit that it has to be like one of the most basic of basic plants, right? Yeah. I remember growing up and my grandmother had pothos all around the house. And I used to think, oh, that's such there's no flowers, there's no pizzazz, there's really nothing to it. After I started taking care of a golden pothos, I was like, this thing is beautiful.
Yes, exactly.
And you can do it.
And you can do it.
You can actually grow the plant, and it doesn't go to plant heaven.
Yeah.
Well, mine almost did. So.
You killed a pothos?
No, I almost did because I was away for 2 weeks. I mean,
how do you kill a pothos?
You don't.
That's another episode, guys. At Cultivation Corner.
Look.